Reacting to the world. Take one. Check, Mark.
Check, Mark. Just doing what you do.
Hey, man.
Hey.
I want to congratulate you on, what is it, 12,000 subscribers
By
now?
the time this video comes out, it's probably around 12,000, 12,500 maybe.
That's ridiculous. The last time you saw from us, I was installing that chandelier, and we were at like 8, which was still insane.
Yeah.
That day, I was driving home from the install like on a high because I finished a build. I heard the news about the channel, and I was like, what is happening? And then like over the weekend, it just blew up.
It seemed that just out of nowhere, the algorithm just kind of came in and picked us up a little bit.
The scoop.
Yeah, I call it the algorithm scoop.
Yeah, we got scooped.
Dude.
Anyway, so thank you. And it's insane. There's like so many questions and like new focus on the channel. And it just like, this is the best way we know how to like address all of you at once, because now more than ever, I feel compelled to be transparent and like try to connect with you guys. And for starters, say thank you.
Thank you.
Over the past week, we're making like actual money, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, but Tay's not operating a law's hiring me.
Right, like Walker and I are good friends, and we've always loved hanging out and doing this together. But it's like I'm paying him for no like immediate return for now a few years, and I would have continued to do it. But it's amazing to start seeing like returns on that, and like the concept of being paid on YouTube has always seemed like a hilarious distance away, like just unobtainable. Mr. Beast makes millions, but you know, I'll be lucky for them to throw us like pennies.
Right.
But then now it's like I can pay what I pay you from YouTube money.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Which is ridiculous because we're still not even like huge.
No, we've got 12,000 subscribers, and one of I think our most viewed video, which is that 4-hour compilation of like all of the renovation of this building, which now has like 288 comments.
Yeah, we can't keep up anymore.
There's no way.
We used to read them all, like, and we still try to.
Yeah,
But
I had a hard time responding to all of them before.
Yeah.
Now that's why we'll do this.
yes, exactly.
That being said, we are going to take this moment to showcase some of the more interesting comments we've gotten as a result of this surge in viewership.
Yeah.
And
so
Walker here has curated some things. Do you have anything you'd like to say first?
I think this first one kind of speaks for all of them. If you minimize that window and just read this first comment out loud, I think you'll understand the general.
What? This comment from one day ago from a username that's a bunch of letters says, "I don't like people with attached earlobes."
Sorry, buddy, but he doesn't like either of us.
So yours are attached?
Both of ours are attached.
Oh, this is a direct comment on our anatomy.
Yes. Specifically our earlobes.
Oh my God.
And they will not be watching our content because of our earlobes.
Dude. I don't usually kink shame, but leave us alone, man.
Go oogle somebody else's earlobes.
Go find
man.
some saggy, floppy earlobes.
Yeah,
I love that you picked this one for the first one. Oh, attached versus detached. Are mine attached?
Yep, both
Yeah.
of ours are. The straight line in.
I feel like most people's are attached.
Yeah.
But I don't look at ears as much as
that's-
as much as ZYXWV. Oh, it's just the alphabet.
Well, then,
backwards.
yeah,
Pardon
to
me.
take that a deeper step, do you think he was just watching the video until he got a good enough idea what our earlobes looked like?
That's really funny.
Left the comment and then left.
Yeah, I hope he watched a lot of our videos before he was like, wait, and he like zoomed in on the screen. It was like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's enough. So this next comment is from Thunder Appeal, and he or they said, "Who knew that cutting corners could be?"
This is like half a compliment and half a diss.
Who knew that cutting corners could be made to seem so compelling? This video is a testament to the talent necessary to make third world, low-grade craftsmanship upgraded.
That's kind of a head scratcher of a sentence.
Well, for starters, here's I'm going to cherry pick. He said we are compelling.
That's great. Yep.
And he said that we upgraded something.
Yes. And testament to the talent. You know, that's none of the other words in that sentence matter.
Yeah, to make third world low grade craftsmanship upgraded.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know, man. This is probably going to be an underlying theme with a lot of the and it has been with a lot of the comments that I've read, which is how many people are either irritated with what I did to this building and the machines inside of it, or are frustrated or would have done it better or different. There's always those people.
Yeah.
In my 15 years now in front of some sort of camera, and therefore viewers at home watching us do things, whether it was earlier with Black Dog or here now on YouTube, it's endless. Mm-hmm. The amount of armchair experts is endless.
Yep.
And I have the same answer to everyone, which is I did it and you didn't. And if you did it, great. You did it your way. I did it my way.
Yes.
And but I did do it, and I did what I set out to do, which is take this building that was going to be all emptied and scrapped if no one stepped in to do something with it. Mm-hmm. If a brewery bought the building to turn it into some brew pub, and they knew nothing about the machines, all they would have seen was metal and scrap value, and they would have scrapped the entire shop without a care in the world, and they would have gotten paid, I don't know, $4,000 for 100,000 pounds of scrap metal.
Right.
And they would have been great.
Yeah.
I now have an empty box to put my brewery in. That's one possible that could have happened.
Yeah.
But it didn't. And I'm not saying that I am a preservationist or I am part of some vintage machinery historical society. And cheers to those that are. I found a happy medium. The machines that I couldn't use, I made sure went to homes that they would be appreciated, and most of them have been restored and put back into service.
Yeah.
I replied to someone in the comments saying this exact same thing, and I will say it again here. I defy you to show me someone who came across a shop like this and wanted to start making money out of it again, not just like pet and shine and polish the machines and appreciate them for what they can go, ooh, look, it makes a 2-inch hole in an hour and a half. That wasn't my goal. I'm a metal fabricator and a welder, and now a CNC plasma operator and a custom sign maker and a TIG welder and apparently a YouTube personality. And like, I'm 29. I'm like learning what I want to be in life, and I'm trying to carve out a niche for myself and for us. And I feel like I've done that fairly successfully with a reasonable amount of attention paid to history and preservation.
Yeah.
And I for sure appreciate the machines that were here.
That's the reason that we actually started the channel in the first place.
Yes, it was to chronicle all those machines, as you well saw.
Yeah. And to say that we didn't respect the history of this place is more insulting than you would think. Because we spent so much time, even just like trying to find documentation for certain machines.
Yes.
Like trying to find videos of people using those old machines.
Right. To educate.
You know, there's, like you said, so many of those machines that you didn't use are now back in operation.
Yeah. I know of two for sure. The Bullard vertical 30,000-pound vertical boring machine is being used by Brett Davis up in, it's the Standard Machine Company, I think, up in PA. And David, that dude with all the screwed up fingers, is using that bombshell lathe and a few other machines. John Leon's using that big ass metal planer.
Yeah.
Which are huge behemoths, and there are not many left, and they are being loved and used. And I feel damn good about that.
Yep.
So
and we took and not just respecting the machines, we took the time to talk to those people because their expertise on those machines is something that's fading from the world.
Right.
And that's something that we wanted to learn about and share that knowledge about. So like,
there's so much to feel good about that I still do feel good about. And the idea that someone is with this type of comment, not even, I mean, this is
Here, if you scroll forward, there's probably more.
Yeah. Anyway, to end the rant, if you're still with us, I still feel great about what we did here. And so many people that come in this shop still look at what I still have. Line shaft, Bridgeport, bunch of old 1940s machines that I use every day. And they're like, wow, it's so great that you saved this. Even just what's still here.
Yeah, a lot of the machines that are in here are saved from the old shop.
Yeah, and I use them every day.
Yeah.
So anyway, now if you're still mad at me, so be it.
Yeah. Well, there's still other aspects of that kind of outrage that we'll certainly touch on later.
Yeah. All right, well, here's one for you, the editor and the film guy. From a YouTube account called Random Dude, which is perfect. You made all that effort to film an entire 4+ hour renovation, but only uploaded it in 1080p. A format that no one will bother watching in a few years from now, when anything less than 4K will be snubbed. What a complete waste of time, effort, and opportunity.
First of all,
what do you have to say about?
Darn, what a big mistake we made. First of all, 1080p is almost never going to go anywhere, and there's one specific reason for that, and it's called a cell phone.
Yeah, that's right.
This screen is so small. The thing that matters is not the total resolution; it's pixel density.
Yeah.
So 1080p versus 4K doesn't matter depending on screen size.
Yeah.
So 1080p is always going to be around for small to mid-sized screens, no matter what.
Because it's a waste of horsepower to put more pixels in a screen that big.
There are brand new devices like the Steam Deck, which I have. It's a 720p screen.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing.
Because it's this small.
Because it's this small, it's still good enough to have a good viewing size, but the density is so dense because it's so small that it looks sharper than 4K. Mm-hmm. So
compared to a
large
display.
If you're going to a movie theater, sure, the higher quality, the better.
Mm-hmm. But even then, there's film grain and the film part of it.
A laptop screen, 1080p versus 4K, is almost unnoticeable.
Yeah. I
mean, certain aspects of it you can understand in things like video games and stuff like that.
And I didn't know that until after I bought this laptop. This laptop's 4K, and I'm like, I'm just wasting graphics horsepower trying to light this screen up.
I have a 4K monitor at home on my editing rig, and it's always running in 1080, even when I'm outputting 4K footage.
We shoot now in 4K. The other point about this is that when we first started filming for the channel, we were filming on a Nikon D7200 DSLR that shot max at 1080p, and Riley's A6500 Sony, which did shoot 4K. But because we had a 4K and a 1080, we had to output everything. And we still output everything at 1080p, obviously. That's what he's complaining about.
Yes. Well, and not to mention that the majority of the footage that we still have from the renovations beyond the stuff shot on the Nikon is 4K, and we still have all of it.
Yeah, there's no
reason.
The rendering would take 4 times as long.
So
it's just what a complete waste of time.
Effort, and opportunity. We do shoot everything in 4K.
Yeah.
So that footage is crisp and beautiful.
And we can punch in, zoom, crop out,
That is undoubtedly the greatest asset of 4K is being able to crop in post. But other than that,
do you guys think that 1080p is a complete waste of time, effort, and opportunity?
It's a format that no one will be watching in a few years, by the way. The other thing about 4K is that it takes up a lot of space.
It does, man. I had to build a server here. I used one of Linus Tech Tips videos to build a server from an old computer I had. And it has 20-some terabytes of storage, which I thought was quite impressive, considering I am not an IT guy. I'm just a nerd.
It's a great server.
And it's been running strong for a year. And we're about 3/4 of the way through it.
Yep.
And it is storing 4K footage.
But also when we started the channel, we were passing around small hard drives, physical.
Yeah, we had, as most YouTubers start. You have a bunch of little solid states and portable hard drives.
In fact, I'll touch on this later again, but I was editing on my 2013 MacBook Pro, and it had a little card slot in it. I would just stick the card and put it straight onto the laptop.
From the camera to the laptop. Yeah, right. Like you're editing a home movie.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? At least all that means is that Eventually, when 1080p is something no one will bother, we're prepared
when
for
our
that
views
feature.
go to 0
Yeah.
and all the comments say, we want 4K. We want 4K.
We'll be prepared for that eventuality.
We will pivot
Yep.
so fast you won't even see it coming. Thanks, random dude.
We'll remaster all of our old videos in 4K.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll use AI upscaling the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. So the next one's from Earl Clemens. God, such a great name. What are you going to do with a machine shop with no machines? I kept some that I knew how to use and that I knew I would use. And the 22-foot lathe I got rid of. And the 37-inch Bullard vertical boring mill I got rid of because I knew I wasn't going to use them.
Yep.
I'm not making train wheels. I just I'm a welder and a fabricator. Now I make custom signage, and I've done some roll cages and custom furniture and fixing, welding, and repair, and aluminum and awnings and all this sort of thing. And those are things I do with grinders and welders and band saws and CNC plasma cutters. And I do use my Bridgeport. I do use my vertical band saw from the 40s. I do use that World War II era vertical sander.
That thing's great.
I just didn't think I was going to make any appreciable money in 2022 with an 8-foot long metal planer.
Have there been any projects since actually starting fabrication in here that you were like, man, if only I had a 22-foot long lathe?
Not one.
Okay, well, I tried, guys.
Now I do want a nice engine lathe at some point, but all the lathes in here were from like 1905.
Yeah,
they're all worn out and they can't hold more than a thou of precision, and they ran off belts in the ceiling, which I do still have, but it's like, sorry, Earl. I know where it's coming from.
Yes,
and I realize that this type of question and comment is not one of malice. It's more of like, there's all the stuff we touched on already.
Apologies, Earl.
Earl, if in the same way you've only just watched this part, go to the previous rant about being heckled for disrespecting equipment.
Yes.
I'm a welder, man. I'm not a machinist. I don't want to be a machinist. I like dabbling, but welding is where it's at for me.
Machines are cool, but that's why we wanted to get the machines to the machinists.
Yeah, that would use them.
Yeah.
Fill their shop with machines, not mine, theirs.
Yep.
Thanks, Earl.
This one is also pretty telling of a lot of the comments, but has a unique spin on it.
Oh, this is great. So this is from John Smith, if that is your real name. I'd have loved to have watched this if it weren't for the seemingly endless and absolutely unnecessary music. Stop trying to produce stuff like Hollywood does. Hollywood is run by abject filth, and it doesn't reflect well upon you at all to imitate them. Thank you. Oh, man.
So I don't even know where to start with that one.
No, I'm sorry you didn't get to enjoy it, for starters. I think music adds a certain something.
Yeah, I would agree, and that's why we had it in there.
Yeah.
So this is kind of also to respond, because there's a lot of, I think, part of our older demographic. I don't know if I included this other comment, but somebody said silence is golden.
Yeah, in the context of I read that one too.
Yeah.
It was not every 5 seconds, not every silent moment needs to be filled with music. Just let it breathe.
I get that.
There are videos for that, and I've watched a bunch of them, like the hand tool rescue guy, or all these like the Jimmy DiResta videos, all those like sped up fixing or building videos where all you hear is sound of the work being done, and maybe the squeaking of which is what saws sound like when you speed them up or whatever.
We're not trying to imitate Hollywood per se.
God, yeah.
Like when we started this channel, we talked to so many people that are worried about a coming age where young people aren't interested in the trades.
That was the very first video we posted called The Craftsman Mindset.
Yeah, we wanted to directly address that issue by not only making something that John Smith's generation might appreciate,
yeah,
but something that people our age or younger would find interesting. And to be honest,
It's impossible.
they do not have patience for silence.
No.
Not at all.
Or anything past a TikTok video, really, these days.
Exactly.
The fact that there is an actual bar in the graph that represents 25 to 35 and 35 to 45, I'm blown away.
Yeah, that
is a huge achievement.
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
a huge success for us.
13-year-olds aren't going to watch the channel, but that's fine. They're watching Roblox or whatever.
No, and if you looked at every Behind the Craft episode we did, they were all younger people.
Yeah. So, in a small, very small, but still appreciable way, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
We were able to take what is historically an old subject matter, machines, the trades, blacksmithing, metalworking, welding, something that's usually filmed on an iPhone 5 by a guy who clips it to his belt and holds it vertically and says, look at this weld I'm doing with my Miller Dynasty 210 DX with the settings and the bottle, and I went down to the welding store. I love those videos. I watch them all the time, but I'm a welder. That is not the type of video that's going to gain legs and appeal to a younger audience and people that weren't already searching for how to hook up a Miller Dynasty TIG welder.
Exactly.
That would become interesting and then be passed organically in front of people because no one else is talking about it. And it's not like I'm sitting here on a pedestal like, we need more trades. We do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I mean, the short answer is you can't please everyone.
Yeah. And well, we're sorry you didn't like the music.
But we're going to keep using music.
We're going to keep using music, and maybe you'll stick around.
I love that he peppered in his own opinion about Hollywood that had nothing to do with his rejection of our music, and that Hollywood is run by abject filth, which is not untrue.
I mean, yeah, I can't disagree with you there, but we are not Hollywood.
No. And if you were in some way alluding to, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
I lost interest halfway through my statement.
Oh, this one is interesting.
All right, so this one's by Jim Naz, and I'm just going to read it as it is. I am calling bullshit on any claim to be a one-man band. Without the help of at least 3 knowledgeable, experienced, strong, hardworking, smart people, you would be nowhere. It makes me not like you channel. At minimum, you owe Wyatt an apology and acknowledgement. Plus, you brought in an electrician, a plumber, and a cement crew. One-man band my ass. Wow, you got something on your mind you want to get off?
So I think somebody is a little peeved about something. I don't know. It sounds like their real life experiences is boiling over into an online comment.
Yeah. Well, I think the crucial points to point out is that 98% of the work done to get this building here was spent me on my knees scraping dirt off the floor.
I was just going to say that.
And like cleaning out what was essentially a condemned building.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love Wyatt. I've told him so often how appreciative I am of him. And since I've been running here, I pay him pretty well to help me with fab jobs.
There's a reason he's in the new intro.
Wyatt's my brother. I'm the godfather to his new daughter.
Yeah.
Leave him out of this.
Yeah. We love Wyatt.
Yeah. And I'm sorry it's not you I need to prove that to. It's him, and I've done that already.
I'm sure he knows he's appreciated.
Yeah, and obviously I appreciate the electrician, the plumber, and the cement crew. I paid them money to do that too. I'm not those things. I never claimed to be those things, and I never claimed to take credit for their work.
It's just, I thought it was ridiculous because I've witnessed this almost since its inception.
Yeah.
And you're right, like probably 99.8% of this was just you in here on every day, like all the time you had off.
Yeah.
And just doing all the, there's so many tasks that
Not
also,
being paid, by the way.
There were so many tasks that were not shown on camera because we also started filming after you had done a considerable amount of work.
Right. And if it was just me spending 3 days sorting through a wall of forgotten bolts and nuts, that was in the video as like a 15-second time lapse.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Herb Stauffer, the plumber. Shout out to Chris, the electrician. Shout out to Alex, the framer and the drywall guy. Shout out to Greg Rhodes, the contractor on the permit. There you go. Roanoke, Virginia. Look these people up. Yeah. They're incredible contractors, and I paid them real money to do what they do. and they all did great work. Damn proud of what I do here in the doors, and I never claimed to do it all alone.
Yeah, but you worked your ass off most of the time on your own.
Yeah, because I wanted to, not to like prove anything, because like I didn't feel the need to bring someone into the fold most of the time, and I feel good about what we accomplished. So, that guy was mad.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like some real world. He has another comment that pops up in a little bit that is also more ridiculous somehow.
All right, well, let's see. This one's from Geo Sustainable. Fella don't know what he got. Oh well, the real tragedy is that most often the machines won't work right after being moved. They were built in place. Those machine shops in China are real happy to see you take apart a working factory. More work for them now, especially them shells. I hear they're making a bunch of them right now. If you need any of those old machines put back to working order, send them to China. Only they have the machinist skills that do that sort of work since the 40-year mistake took hold.
So
I'm going to not pay. I don't want to get into geopolitical issues.
Right, sure.
Obviously, most of our manufacturing is being outsourced to overseas factories, and that's because those companies take advantage of lax labor laws and
very cheap labor,
really bad working conditions, which makes everything really cheap. They pay their people nothing, and that's how we get to have things over here that look like American-made things, but they're made in China and they cost a quarter of the price. I do not need to educate you about what has happened to the global manufacturing industry. This person is referencing that. Also, to say that things that Americans need and continue to buy could have been made by the machines that came out of this shop is ludicrous.
Yeah.
And
you called it a working factory.
it was not working nor a factory. I mean, it was working. And he's right. A lot of the machines do rarely survive a move, especially a 20-foot lathe. I mean, the whole thing will twist and bend as it gets moved around, and it needs to get professionally leveled and shimmed, and the gearbox may have shifted, so the gear lash needs to be shimmed and all that stuff. It's all a valid point. It's a fair comment, half of it, and the other half is like,
it's kind of ludicrous.
Yeah. Now we had to read it, so now you have to read it.
We won't spend too much time on that one.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Oh, funny.
I can kind of comment on. This is on the 4-hour video.
Why don't you read this one?
So viewer 617 said, "The fuck is with the ads every 3 minutes? Looks like I need to ad block this channel." Go for it. Yeah. Also, we don't physically add in ad breaks. YouTube does that automatically. I haven't even looked at the kind of breaks that YouTube has added to that video, because normally YouTube has a system that judges how long it has been since you were last served an ad. And that carries across all of YouTube. It's not just us. So if you watch an ad on a video, like right at the end, and then click on one of our videos, you won't get an ad on our video for 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, because it's a frequency thing.
Exactly. And it's all across YouTube, not just our channel.
Yeah, so, that's why I pay for YouTube Premium.
I do as well.
Yeah. But the ads are how we get paid. So thanks for watching the ads.
But also,
it's not like we put them there.
It's impossible for you to get served every 3 minutes. Unless you're like using a VPN and watching.
If that was happening, somebody else would have said something. There would have been like so many ads.
Yeah. Well, and
we have posted videos where we didn't pay attention.
Yes.
And like the ads just get like blam, 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 blam.
But even still, YouTube won't even serve all of those because of the frequency.
Because if you watch one or click on one.
Exactly. So you might be doing something wrong, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Viewer 617, man or woman.
Yeah.
Or whatever, person.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Maybe he has a special ad block.
Sorry about it. I pay for YouTube Premium.
So do I.
It's great.
You can get a free month. Try it out.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. You took a look at this one.
Yeah, I read this one earlier. So Dan Apted said, "I cringed when the mezzanine with oil-soaked, old-growth, easily resurfaced lumber was torn down rather than disassembled and sold. Depending on what kind of wood was used and how much rot had to be cut away, they probably destroyed $20,000 to $40,000 worth of lumber.
That's a lot of money.
And old growth barn lumber is hard to find and very valuable. So, lucky for you, I used to work for an architectural salvage company for 15 years. So I find myself uniquely qualified to comment on this statement.
So you might have had your hands on some old growth barn lumber
Yeah.
one or two times.
Yeah, I built this table. That was also a video. Go click here.
This was the mezzanine.
This was wood from the mezzanine. Okay, so I was a woodworker for probably 10 years at Black Dog Salvage, where we made custom furniture and worked specifically with reclaimed lumber. And one thing I will say is it is not all sunshine and rainbows. You put most of this old stuff through a planer, it is either going to fall apart or your planer blades are going to get destroyed by something you didn't find in there. And most of the time we used metal detectors to find nails. And one time I found a bullet in wood. That was
cool.
Someone shot a tree and the tree was cut down and cut into slabs.
That's
and there was
amazing.
a bullet in the slab. It's interesting you mentioned this. You said oil soaked. That is a very unique problem as well. When wood is wet, it is not nice to work with. Glues do not stick to it well. Top coats don't stick to it well because the oil will continue to seep out of the wood and it'll bubble up through the top coat and you'll never get clear coat or stain to stick to it.
Yummy.
It messes with it may not mess with your planer blades, but oil-soaked wood is probably one of the worst things to build custom furniture out of, other than stuff that's all splintery and rotten or whatever. The other thing is that mezzanine was gross. You're right.
Yeah.
It was oil-soaked, but it was
Rotted.
It was rotten. It was not stable at all. We walked up there a bunch, and it was just like it was
sketchy
too
every
close
time.
to the ceiling.
Yeah.
It took away a lot of wall space. I saved enough wood to build a tabletop. I saved a bunch of big timbers that are out in the rack here, like big 6x6s, 4x4s, things that I will eventually use for something. And there are barns. Again, Black Dog Salvage is still in operation here in Roanoke, Virginia. And when we were filming the show, Salvage Dogs, we would get, I just had lunch with Grayson today, and she said that we would get like 100 emails a day from people that said, oh, I have an old building that is made of barnwood or whitewashed whatever, or, shiplap paneling, tongue and groove flooring, wide plank flooring, oak flooring, cedar shingles. We were at the peak. It was 30 people at the company, and we had a retail store to run. We had, a shop to run. The crew that could go out and salvage stuff was maybe 5 people, 6 people, and even then we all did other things. The point I'm trying to make is that there is, for every company or person willing and or capable to reclaim lumber, there is 100 times more lumber out there. So I do not feel bad about the 500 square feet of oil-soaked rotten lumber that I destroyed to make way for my new shop.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it, and I don't
think you should.
if you think that makes me a bad person, then I'm sorry.
Well,
The other point you made that it was $20,000 or $40,000.
You said you missed out on $40,000.
Go to Black Dog Salvage right now and see, which many people say is overpriced, and see what they're selling lumber for. I guarantee you it does not cost $20,000 to buy 500 square feet of reclaimed lumber. I guarantee you. And if it does, you're an idiot because you overpaid.
Yep.
So, yeah. How about that?
Thanks, Dan.
This next one's from Brad, and it says, 2 dudes make a cute couple.
You and Wyatt. Yep.
Thanks, Brad.
Anyways, now.
All right, so Jim Naz is back. Jim Naz says she wanted the fixture to hang lower. Oh, so this is the most recent video where I installed the chandeliers for that woman.
And I will play the clip now of exactly what she said in this statement.
Because we didn't subtitle
I'll
it.
subtitle it as well, but
Yeah.
it's audible.
Yeah.
So I'll play that now.
Well, how about that?
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I don't think it's too low.
No.
I mean,
We said 32. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. So, as you could tell, she was elated, first off. But Jim says she wanted the fixture to hang lower. You defensively said, hey, it's 32 inches. That's what we decided. I did not like that answer and would be dissatisfied if I were the customer. Take the comment to heart. So for starters, this lovely woman is probably in her 80s. She is living in a house that she built with her husband, and her husband has since passed. And she saw me on public television, PBS, and a piece that my buddy Harrison made. And she loved my work so much that she reached out via phone, left me one of the most complimentary voicemails I've ever gotten in my life, saying how much she loved the work that I do, and she thought it was beautiful. She wanted 2 chandeliers built, and she wanted only me to build them, no one else. And so I was like, holy cow, amazing. Yeah. I didn't want to go meet with her, so I did. And I drove an hour away to meet with her in her house. I brought, obviously, paper and a tape measure, and we talked about the chandeliers, took a bunch of notes. I then asked specifically, how low do you want them to hang from the ceiling? I put my tape measure up to the ceiling, and I put my hand in different places, and we got to 32, and she said, that would be great. So that's where that number came from, and that's how low I built them. And that is exactly what we decided. The other, I mean, just to like insinuate that I'm bullying some old widow is a pretty big like defamation of my character. And like, I'm kind of insulted by that. That is not how you do business. No. There are people that are scumbags and will take advantage of the elderly. It happens all the time. Your grandparent probably has gotten a call saying that, you know, oh, we're going to cut your power off unless you send a check or buy, you know, 5 $50 Best Buy gift cards and mail them here. It happens all the time. And those people suck, to put it lightly. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I would never do that. Not to mention, when we were building them here, I built them first. I welded all the chains together, and we hung it for the first time, and I measured.
I was there.
And it was 28. You were filming this.
Yep.
We have footage of this.
Yes.
It was only 28 inches. And so I spent another 2 hours adding 2 links to each chain to get the height right. I could have just said it's good enough. But I said, no, we decided on 32. I want to get them to 32. And I think it's fairly obvious if in the rest of the video, how pleased she was, which was the best feeling in the world. And it's just not true.
Yeah. It's unfortunately one of the drawbacks of having highly edited content is that you guys don't see everything. It's people that see the edited video and think that they know everything.
Right. I mean, we try our hardest to present to you a to Z story in an amount of time that is palpable. You know, these builds take me weeks, and we try, sometimes months in the case of that helical sculpture. And we try to condense them down into a length that you guys will watch and be interested in, and not just turn off halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Sometimes we put music in the videos.
Oh, God. What a nightmare. But, yeah, it's just... Also, just... I don't know how anybody could hear what she said and say that not only did she want it longer, which she never said.
No.
But also that she should be dissatisfied.
No, I felt bad about putting the camera in her face, but I asked her before I did that. I said, are you okay if I film some of this and you for the YouTube channel? And
we do that every time, by the way.
She honestly doesn't know what that is, but I told her what it was. I said, I want to video this work. People will see it online. And she said, great. She said, I want you to get more work from this. So, which is huge. And so I shared it and filmed it, all with her permission.
Yep.
And she was blown away, and it was the best feeling in the world. And how dare you try to take that away from me?
Yeah.
I think that's all of them.
Well, just for a palette cleanser, there's another folder.
Nice ones.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, so you put good comments in to now.
just the.
I didn't even know you did that. So I thought this was just going to end on I'm exhausted.
Nope. We're going to forget all about Jim.
Jim can go screw himself, man.
Yeah.
All right, Walker put some nice comments together. Let's look at these. This is what I need. Warren Jones. I do believe I could have a real good chat with David. What a character. That was quite a place as you found it. One wonders, aside from the medical things you talked about, what they built or repaired there over the years. Hindi conehead lathes are a work of art. I thought I spied a Hindi T&G lathe early on. That's a nice tool. I still have it and I use it. So, poo the naysayers.
Poo.
4 or 5 steps to accomplish the original objective is a common theme around here. I call it 1 step forward, 3 steps back. Nevertheless, it gets done eventually. Wyatt is the kind of friend that is rare to have. You damn right. And finally, I am glad I live where I don't need to have a simple framed wall or some new lights inspected by the city. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, Warren, you get it.
Yeah, Warren.
You get it.
You're the kind of commenter that's rare to have.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, that's what's funny about the comments is obviously they're not all going to be good, and I don't expect them to.
Yeah.
But this, I guarantee you, Warren and I would have talked for hours, much like David and I did, because there's a mutual appreciation for effort and love of machines and crafts, and yeah.
Exactly. There's a common respect there.
Yeah. See, I'm trying my hardest. I'm just trying so hard.
Thanks, Warren.
Deep Blue Dude. Dude, this is so freaking cool. Shout out to whoever's mixing the music as well. I'm an hour in and have a lot of stuff to get done, so I'll get back later. Awesome upload. Dude, it doesn't get better than that. See,
But silence is golden.
yeah, silence is boring.
But see, I'm telling you, Deep Blue Dude is our age or younger.
Yeah.
And
Well, maybe, I mean, probably maybe in his 40s.
Right, but,
the other guy
yeah.
was probably in his 60s. But
right, but we're trying to hit. We're casting a wide net here, folks. We want
Yeah.
to get anybody who might have the slightest interest in this kind of field. We want to reel them in.
Yeah.
And say, get involved.
And show it in a more accessible light.
Show's cool.
Redline PE34 says, I watched all 4+ hours and enjoyed watching the process of the shop come together. Great job. Wish you all the best.
See,
All 4 hours.
that's insane.
What's the last thing you watched on YouTube 4 hours front to back?
I can't even remember. I think I fell asleep watching something. That
I'm
was like
maybe
4
a
hours.
podcast or something,
Yeah.
but even then it must have been a guest I really wanted to see. That's a lot of time.
Yeah. So like,
I'm gonna get lit up for like shouting out too.
we'll bleep that name.
Maybe the Bleep podcast.
Yeah. We'll say NPR.
Radio Lab.
Radio Lab.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you. Keppel Small said, wow, what a great video. I watched every second of this 4-hour and 22-minute video and enjoyed every minute of it. Thanks, and thanks YouTube for the recommendation. Can't wait to see the build videos. Well, Keppel, you've got some watching to do
There's already a bunch of them.
because there's a bunch of them on there.
See, and this is kind of an indication that this being the first exposure to a lot of people have had to our channel
Right.
is that they think that this is like, they don't know that this was the very first things we made on this channel. They don't know that it's a
Right.
re-upload. Even though in the video itself it shows like the original air date on each episode.
That was a nice touch, by the way.
Thank you.
I like that.
You know, I figured it would just give a better timeline of events.
Sure. Which is in that now and forever. Even for us, we get to watch that and go, oh, yeah, that was on this day and that. Yeah, and that we've noticed that happening where, because this video now has 189,000 views. And because of the rise in this video, all of our other videos have been getting more views. Because they do what I do, which is like, oh, I wonder what else this channel does. When I find a channel I love, I do the deep dive every time. So thanks, Keppel.
Yep. So if
Hope
you
you
got,
like the build videos.
yeah, if you got interested because of the renovation, but builds seem interesting to you, then stick around.
I gotta zoom in on this one. I can't read it. Fuming Zeus. Sorry.
That was I had trouble with that one
Eyes
too.
hurt. Says, can't believe you only have 11,500 subs. I think your channel is excellent. There's something for everyone, something different every time. Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up to
Dude.
you,
Yes, man.
dude.
Let's do a live look. We
how many
are
we at
at 11,830. Let's go.
Wait, so we're probably gonna hit 12 before the end of the day today.
Yeah, which is August 24th. Dude, this is so cool.
crazy.
This is so nuts and having so much fun.
Yeah.
Christopher Berg says, I've been watching creators on here since before streaming was popular, like 2009-ish, and I'm so happy you decided to share your craft It will blow up. 6K ain't nothing. Oh shit. This was back when we hit 6K. Oh, a week ago.
Yeah. Well, so he was comment. This was a very recent comment.
Just keep uploading either daily or on certain days of the week. Keep up the great work. Now on to watching the build video. I love long videos.
Glad you love him.
Dude, thank you, man. There's a lot of people saying like, oh, this is going to blow up. This is going to blow up. And it's like kind of, I guess it's starting to happen. I don't know.
Well, so I would like to repay a shout out that we got a long time ago. Rotary SMP. Rotary SMP. He was the very first channel to give us a shout out, and at the time we had probably about 800 to 900 subscribers, and he had about 12,000, and we had 2 commenters coming over saying, "Hey, I came over here from the shout out from Rotary SMP."
Cool.
And I was like, "Oh man."
That's
and then
right.
He kept commenting on our videos. He's like, "Just you wait. One of these days, one of them's gonna take off, and you'll be off to the races." His exact words. And now we are getting close to where he was at 12,000 now. It's like,
which is proof that the algorithm works in that it's a little predictable in that way. I just feel so incredibly lucky to be having this much traction on YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Not to mention, I depend on YouTube 0% for my financial stability. Like this is all just gravy and proof that the work was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you basically started rolling the dice 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Said, one of these days I'm gonna hit the dice roll that we need.
Because I knew it was possible. I just didn't know. It's like I didn't think I could do it.
Yeah, well,
we could do it.
It's all about breaking through beyond the thousands of other channels that are trying to do the exact same thing.
And now we're breaking through a lot of them.
We're in the top 4,000 channels in the United States.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
We're still small, but that just shows you how many YouTube channels there are.
There's a ton, yeah. Dave Hogston says, been there, done that. 45 years contracting, and thank goodness, very few times did things come back much higher. A few times the customer would not talk about any price increases, but most of the time people were very open to changes. Oh, this is also in relation to the expensive powder coating bill and the not full but slight additional charge. I asked the customer permission to add. I know by now this is completely settled and behind you, but this is how you learn. I'm mostly commenting so that YouTube will share more money with you. Thanks, man. Oh, Dave's the man. Yeah.
We got a few comments like that.
I actually have a sticky note on my fridge from that customer, David Allagood, Family Express here in Roanoke. And he said, sent it with the check for the payment, including the slight, I added another 150. I was out 600, but I was like, just every little bit will help. And I felt bad about it. And I sent him a long email saying I feel embarrassed, and then he sent a note saying your rails rock. We love them. We use them every day. Thank you so much. Not even talking about the added charge. He's just like, thanks for doing great work. And so that was huge because it made me realize that, if the rails were maybe not perfect, they were kind of shoddy. And then, at one price he might have tolerated it, but then I go to ask for more money, I could have been easily shot down or whatever. But because I pour my soul into everything I build, I guess
you had that extra cushion of all right,
I still did.
The customer respects you enough,
and I did my best on that job.
Yep.
I know that for sure.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. YouTube money. Let's go.
Quick shout out. I don't know where they are, but the community member that sent you drywall anchors.
Oh yeah.
Who was it? We need to shout their name out.
On that tone, good call. This is from John Chandler.
This is how much we love being able to interact with our community.
Yes. So while we're talking about that job and that terrible experience with drywall anchors, one of our viewers, John Chandler, who I recognize the name, I'm not sure where from. I'm sorry if I've met you in person or not. But anyway, he sent me these wingets from Amazon and with a note saying, Tay, give these wingets a try. The best drywall anchors ever. There's also a jumbo size for supporting rails or grappling rails. They support 350 pounds in a sheetrock and tile wall from John Chandler. So this is what he sent over, and I haven't even opened this yet.
Yeah, the world's best drywall anchors, or wingets.
Oh, wow. I didn't, that was completely unsolicited. I gifted it from Amazon, and I can't wait to try these out.
Yeah.
Personally, there's 6 of them in here, which is enough
Yeah.
to hang a big sign. So
Just the fact that we have guys like John Chandler and Frank Copen and a bunch of other people
Yeah.
in our community that are like want to interact and want to, share their knowledge with us
like,
and
hey,
the rest of the world.
these have worked well for me.
Yeah.
Here you go. Eddie H, last comment. Well, I'd never thought I would sit through a 4+ hour video over 3 days. LOL. You had me mesmerized, especially during the tool haul out when the old timers schooled us all. I am now subscribed and will follow you from now on. Thank you, and I cannot wait till the CNC starts humming. Watch those videos. Loved your dad's business, your knowledge, and great sense of humor. Have fun, guys. I am having fun.
Woo! I'm having fun
Are
too.
you having fun?
Yeah. It's been a blast.
Yeah, this video is fun. The past 5 years have been fun and terrifying, but fun. And that's the whole point. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. There were, I feel like, other things I wanted to talk about, but it's been an hour
There's
and a
a
half.
lot that we felt obligated to say, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll come back later.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys.
The next video we want to do is potentially making our own throwing stars,
And we have some real ones to compare them
which
to.
will
so.
not be profitable in any way.
No, how do you make money, dude?
And the cool part is, as the channel grows, we'll have more freedom, not only financial freedom, but that leads into more time freedom. Because if I don't have to keep my head buried in paperwork trying to get as many jobs through the door as possible to afford this venture, and if I have more passive YouTube income, then we'll do whatever you guys want within reason.
Yeah, within reason.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I sincerely appreciate every last one of you, except the dickheads that commented
won't
earlier.
say his name
Hey,
anymore.
but still, your support is super appreciated.
Actually, yeah, keep leaving me in comments because it
Keep
only
lighting
helps
us
us.
up.
Yeah.
Keep lighting us up. Keep watching. Hit that down dislike button. Is it back? They took it away for a while.
Well, it exists, but they can't see it.
Oh, hilarious. Hit it anyway.
Yeah. So you can dislike things as much as you want, but nobody's going to know. Except for us.
And I don't care.
No.
My name's Tay. This is Walker. We're Lift Arc Studios. Thanks for watching. See you next time.